guys, back again to do another dip into the noughties, and I missed out the first couple of years. I might go back and do one that covers the start, but I'm not sure. But I've done 2004, 2005, so I'm going to try and get a couple more filmed today. I'm going to do 2006 now. So first album 2006 is this one that I've shown quite recently. They go by the name of Various Productions, and this is called The World Is Gone. If this came out now, it would probably be grouped in with like dubstep, but I don't know whether that's really fair. But it's got that kind of feel to it. But a great album, and all the singles and things have this same kind of artwork, which is a bit twisted, but really good. This is DJ Shadow's The Outsider. To be honest, it's been a very long time since I've listened to this. But I seem to remember enjoying it at the time. But I think DJ Shadow is one of those people that came out with Introducing, which was phenomenal, and I think he's struggled probably to live up to it. But yeah, DJ Shadow. It's DJ Shadow, so you know, it's never going to be bad. This one's been shown by a few people. This is Tom York, The Eraser. And like Fred said, this has got that lovely kind of embossed sleeve on it. This is a great album, really good. If you've heard of, it really does just sound a bit like a Radiohead album, or the Atoms for Peace. It's got that same kind of feel to it. But yeah, well worth checking out if you don't know it. Another darling of the VC, Joanna Newsom. This one came out, I think, certainly before I was in the VC, 2006 obviously, maybe even before the VC existed. I know her most recent, what's it called, the box set, it's called Blank. That came out during the VC, and I remember loads of people showing that, but this album was really good. It's only 5 tracks, but they're all pretty long, sprawling. I don't really want to say progressive folk, but she's definitely folk. She plays the harp, for anyone that doesn't know, and just has an amazing voice. And the last track on this, Cosmia, is the first track of hers that I heard that really got me hooked. And yeah, this is, if you see this, just buy it, because you won't be disappointed. It's got this amazing artwork as well, and all these things have various meanings, and people read different things into them, but it's great, really good album. Another great album that I'm really pleased that I picked up when I did is Deep Cuts by The Knife. Trying to get a copy of this now would be like finding hen's teeth. This is a brilliant album. If you remember, there was an advert, I can't remember what it was for, but it was there was a load of coloured, I think it was maybe Kodak or something like that, and there was a load of coloured balls bouncing down a hill, and it had what was his name, Jose Gonzalez, doing a cover version of Heartbeats, and everyone, oh, that's a brilliant song, that's great. And I was like, yeah, but it's not as good as the original. And this is the first track on this, Heartbeats, which is the reason I bought this album. But there's some fantastic songs on this. Another one of my favourites is Rock Classics, which is quite a quirky little track, but I love listening to that. I used to listen to it a lot when I was walking home from work, and it's great. But yeah, it's a nice, fantastic group, and this is probably one of their best albums. This is Grizzly Bear with Yellow House. This is original limited edition of 1,000. Yeah, this is number 802 of 1,000. So this is a really limited pressing. Original came out on Warp, again obviously in 2006. But yeah, Grizzly Bear, another great album cover. Reminds me of the album cover to is it Fairfield Parlour? One of the, I think it was on the original Vertigo Swirl. I think it was Fairfield Parlour. It was something like that anyway. But the cover was very similar to this. But yeah, fantastic album. Probably one of my favourites from 2006 is Hot Chips The Warning. It's not really showing up very well in this, but the sleeve is embossed. It's got, if you remember the cover of the CD had all these kind of wooden blocks with bits in it. Well, these have got like kind of embossed versions, but it's not. There we go. Let me shut up a bit better there. Yeah. Yes, this is really nice packaging. It's gatefold, but there's so many big hits on this. And I Was a Boy from School, Colours, Over and Over, which was probably the biggest track on it. But yeah, Hot Chip are fantastic. Another one of those groups that can be bundled in with that. Math rock, I think. It's kind of it's not really dancey enough to be dance, or electronic enough to be dance, but not instrument driven enough to be a rock band. They're kind of, you know, in the middle there. But yeah, this is killer album, and probably one of my, if not my favourite album of 2006, certainly up there. Another huge album for me, 2006, was At War with the Mystics. Flaming Lips, In My Mind Can Do No Wrong. They've reached that kind of... who was it I was speaking to about it with? Roger Coleman. And I said, you know, he showed the Flaming Lips Record Store Day release, and I said it was great that they'd finally kind of, you know, when bands reach that plateau where record companies say, you know what, yep, you've earned it, just go and do what you want. And yeah, they come out with some fantastic stuff. Unfortunately, more bands don't get to that level where record companies just let them do what they want. I think the world would be a better place if they did, but I suppose they've got to try and make money. So yeah, At War with the Mystics. This had, what we've got on here, the Yeah 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 song, which was huge. Free Radicals, which was one of my favourites. Yeah, It Overtakes Me, which was another. Mr. Ambulance Driver was great. Wand, which was another one of the big hits of it. But yeah, great album. But it's Flaming Lips, so it was going to be. And this is a curious little album. This is Jarvis by Jarvis Cocker, who's a bit of a hero of mine. Lead singer from Pulp. This is his debut solo album that came out on Rough Trade. It's just a really nice little album. It doesn't have as big a sound as Pulp. It's a lot more introspective, maybe, but it's great. And again, finding a copy of this now is pretty tricky, so I'm glad I picked this up. I've got his second album as well that he did, which was called Jarvis Cocker. But yeah, this is good, and I just love that artwork. I'm wondering whether he maybe actually did it himself. I'm not sure. It's maybe actually just a photo. It looks a bit like a painting. But yeah, so that's it. That's 11.5 minutes. I was going to try and do it in 10, but I failed. So, oh yeah. Spurs beat the Thunder last night, which is great. Game 1 in the Western Conference Finals. I've been a Spurs fan for a long time. So, back in the days of David Robinson, so the pre-Duncan, all my friends were Chicago fans, apart from one of them, I think, who liked the Lakers. But yeah, I was a Spurs fan, and they all used to laugh at me. And then we signed Tim Duncan, and the rest was history. Been one of the best teams in the league. So, yeah, I'm glad they won Game 1. Roll on Game 2, and hopefully we'll get to the finals again this year. So yeah, so that's over 12 minutes now of rubbish. So, yep, I'm going to try and make 2007, so I'll see you later.